Polygons Part 3. Assume that the figures shown to the right are similar. Given the lengths of sides and measures of angles in the left figure, what information is known about the right figure? These shapes are similar polygons. That means that their corresponding sides are proportional and their corresponding angles are equal. If we look at the figure on the left, we're given that angle D is 39 degrees. Since corresponding angles are equal, that means that angle I, which is the same angle in the smaller figure, is the same. So angle I is 39 degrees. And we can complete this first sentence by saying the measure of angle I is 39 degrees. Now we want to find a length of a side. Now if we look at the left figure, we have the side AB is 110, and then we have side CD is 66. Now corresponding sides are proportional. That means that AB corresponds with FG, that the ratio of 110 to 180 is proportionate to the ratio of CD, which is 66, to HI, which is a side that we don't know. So we can solve for side HI by setting up a proportion. So again, we'll look at the side of the left figure, which is AB, and this is 110. This is proportionate to the corresponding side FG, which is 80. So we'll write 110 over 80. That ratio is equal to the ratio of CD, which is 66, over HI. And we don't know the length of HI, so I'm going to call this X. Now we can solve this ratio by cross multiplication. First we'll do 110 times X, which is 110X, and then we can multiply 80 by 66. We get 110X equals 80 times 66, and 80 times 66 is 5,280. Next, we'll solve for X by dividing both sides by 110. And we get X equals 5,280 divided by 110, which is 48. So I can complete the second sentence up top, which says the length of side HI is 48. And these are my two answers to the problem. If triangles ABC and ADE are similar in this diagram, what is the length of the pond? If we look at this diagram, we can see two different triangles. We have a large triangle, which is notated by A, E, and D. And then we have a smaller triangle, which is A, B, and C. And I drew a sketch of these two triangles on the screen. Now I labeled the smaller triangle because we can see that AC has a length of 74 and then BC has a length of 36. If we look at the larger triangle, we can find out the length of AE. To do that, all we have to do is add 259 to 74. And 259 plus 74 gives us a value of 333. So the length of AE is 333. We're asked to find the length of ED, which is the length of the pond. And I don't know this length, so I'm going to label this X. Since these figures are similar, I can set up a proportion. Now, I know that AC and AE are corresponding sides. So my proportion will be AC over AE equals the ratio of BC to DE. Now I'll just substitute the values for each of the lengths. So we know that AC is 74, and that's over AE, which is 333. That equals the length of BC, which is 36. And that's over DE, which is the length of the pond, and we'll call that X. Now we'll solve this proportion by performing cross multiplication. 74 times X is 74X. That equals 333 times 36. And when we do that multiplication, we get 11,988. Next, we're going to divide both sides by 74. And we're left with X equaling 11,988 divided by 74, which is 162. That means that the pond is 162 feet long.